Imagine having absolute power. No one can tell you no. No one can stop you. No one can even question you. Now imagine your mind starts to break, and there's no one left who dares to tell you the truth. This is Idi Amin. He ruled Uganda, and he genuinely believed he could talk to God. This is Kim Jong-il. He convinced an entire country he never needed to use the bathroom. And this is Muammar Gaddafi. He spent 96 minutes at the United Nations rambling about killing JFK. These aren't jokes, these are medical symptoms. This is what happens when absolute power meets mental illness, and no one can intervene. Let's start with Idi Amin, because his story shows how fast someone can descend. In 1971, Idi Amin was actually popular. A champion boxer, a charismatic military officer. When he led a coup and took power, many Ugandans celebrated in the streets. They thought, finally, a strong leader who understands us. Within 6 months, they realized their mistake. Amin started hearing voices. He claimed the British were plotting against him, that the Americans had sent assassins, that his own advisors were secretly working for foreign governments. Some of this was probably true. He had enemies. But his response went far beyond rational. Anyone he suspected, anyone who disagreed with him, anyone who looked at him wrong, dead. If you were a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, you were automatically suspicious. Educated people could think, and thinking was dangerous. Amin ordered soldiers to go door to door, rounding up intellectuals, professionals, anyone with a university degree. Most never came home. Between 100,000 and 500,000 people died during Amin's 8-year rule. Think about that. In a country of 12 million people, up to 1 in every 24 people was killed by their own government. But it wasn't just the killing that showed his mental state. Amin began giving himself titles, more than 30 of them. He declared himself the King of Scotland, the conqueror of the British Empire, the last king of Africa. He wasn't joking, he genuinely believed it. He would walk into rooms talking to people who weren't there. He claimed he received personal messages from God telling him what to do. His personal doctor later revealed the truth. Idi Amin had advanced neurosyphilis, a sexually transmitted disease that, when left untreated, eats away at your brain. It destroys the parts that control judgment, impulse control, the ability to distinguish reality from fantasy. As the disease progressed, Amin's paranoia got worse. The violence escalated, the delusions became more extreme. And because he had absolute power, there was no intervention, no treatment, no one who could say, "You need help." In 1979, Tanzania invaded. Amin's army collapsed within weeks. He fled to Libya, then to Saudi Arabia. He lived there for 24 years, in a villa, with multiple wives. Comfortable. He never faced trial, never answered for what he did. He died in 2003, age 78. So here's the question. Was Idi Amin evil? Or was he sick? The answer, both. And that's what makes it so terrifying. Now let's talk about Kim Jong-il, because his story is different. His insanity wasn't from disease. It was from something far more disturbing. He was raised to believe he was a god. From the moment he was born, everyone around him told him he was special, divine, destined to rule. His father, Kim Il-sung, founded North Korea, built a personality cult around himself. And when it came time to pass power to his son, he built an even bigger cult around Kim Jong-il. Here's what North Korean children were taught in school. Kim Jong-il's birth was announced by a double rainbow. A new star appeared in the sky. His arrival was prophesied by swallows. He learned to walk at 3 weeks old. He could drive at 3 years old. By age 8, he was writing operas. His body was so efficient he never needed to use the bathroom. And the first time he played golf, he shot 38 under par, 11 holes in one in a single round. Now, you might think, okay, propaganda. Every dictatorship does this. But here's the thing. Kim Jong-il believed it. He genuinely thought he was special, that the laws of physics didn't apply to him, that he could do things normal humans couldn't. Defectors who escaped North Korea described his behavior. Kim Jong-il owned more than 20,000 foreign films. He was obsessed with James Bond and Rambo and Friday the 13th. He kidnapped a South Korean film director and the director's actress ex-wife. For 8 years, they were prisoners, making propaganda films, because Kim Jong-il wanted to be a Hollywood producer. Meanwhile, his people were starving. Between 1994 and 1998, somewhere between 600,000 and 3 million North Koreans died of hunger. And while this was happening, Kim Jong-il was spending millions importing luxury goods. Cognac Mercedes-Benz cars, lobster sushi flown in from Japan. Western psychiatrists who studied him from a distance diagnosed severe narcissistic personality disorder. The symptoms: a grandiose sense of self-importance, believing you're special and unique, requiring constant admiration, complete lack of empathy for others. Kim Jong-il was 5'3". He wore platform shoes to appear taller, to ensure perfection. He spent $700,000 per year on cognac, while his country had no electricity. When Kim Jong-il died in 2011, North Korean state media said the sky turned red. The ice on a sacred mountain shattered, even the animals wept. Millions of North Koreans cried in the streets. Were they sad? Kim Jong-il's son, Kim Jong-un, now rules North Korea. The same way, the same mythology, the same system. Because when you raise someone from birth believing they're a god, and no one ever tells them otherwise, what else would they become? Finally, Muammar Gaddafi, and his story is the saddest. Because he didn't start insane. In 1969, at age 27, Gaddafi led a coup against Libya's corrupt king. He promised democracy, education for all, wealth shared among Libyans, and for the first 10 years he actually delivered. Libya's economy grew. Literacy rates soared. Healthcare improved. People believed in him, but power changes people, especially over 4 decades. By the 1980s, Gaddafi's appearance became increasingly eccentric. Elaborate costumes, flowing robes, military uniforms covered in gold. He surrounded himself with female bodyguards, called them his Amazonian Guard, claimed they were his revolutionary protectors. At first, it seemed like showmanship, but it wasn't. He genuinely believed he was a revolutionary icon, a leader for all of Africa, a philosopher king. In 2009, Gaddafi spoke at the United Nations. It was supposed to be a 15-minute speech. He spoke for 96 minutes. He tore up the UN Charter on live television. He accused the Security Council of being terrorists. He demanded investigations into the Kennedy assassination and the swine flu pandemic. Delegates walked out. The ones who stayed looked horrified. And Gaddafi didn't notice. He thought he was giving the speech of a lifetime. When protests erupted in Libya in 2011, Gaddafi couldn't understand why. He went on television, called the protesters rats and cockroaches, ordered his military to hunt them down, crush them, show no mercy. He genuinely believed these were foreign agents, paid by the West high on drugs. He couldn't comprehend that his own people might want him gone. On October 20th, 2011, Gaddafi was found hiding in a drainage pipe in his hometown. Sirte, the man who'd ruled Libya for 42 years, who'd lived in palaces, who'd believed he was beloved, hiding in a concrete pipe. He was pulled out, beaten by a mob, and killed within minutes. His last words were, "What did I do to you?" He genuinely didn't understand. After 42 years of absolute power, Gaddafi had completely lost touch with reality. He died believing he was a revolutionary hero. The truth: his own people killed him in the streets. 3 men, 3 different paths to madness. Idi Amin had a disease destroying his brain, but unlimited power let it run unchecked. Kim Jong-il was raised believing he was divine, and no one could tell him he wasn't. Gaddafi started as a true believer. The common thread: absolute power. No one who could say, "Stop. You need help. This is wrong." And when mental illness meets that kind of power, it doesn't just destroy the person. It destroys millions of lives. If you want to understand how power really works and what it does to people, subscribe. Because history doesn't repeat, but human nature does.